entire season, apparently, because it's Canada.
All right,
We're live.
We're live. Anyway, like I was saying.
No.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 68.
68.
Ooh.
You know what that means.
Oh, next week.
This week doesn't matter, but next week. So what's going on? We're talking about cars, per usual. We're talking about used cars, used parts, new parts, because the world is all messed up forever from this point on.
Yep.
So how are you guys doing? Will Kish, Mikey Gomez,
Dizzle. Yep, those are some normals.
whoever
regulars.
else is in here, let us know what you're up to.
Dude, are we the bar and these are our regulars?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's how we are allowed
Hey,
to
Norm.
drink, though.
I've been to a lot of bars where they drink anyway.
Very dive bar.
Like the College Inn last week. The lady was drunk.
The server was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, College Inn is a place where you go where you either want to spend $20 and get blackout or you want to get in a fight. So,
Nah,
sounds
good.
Yeah,
Do people
it's
ever
not
do
bad.
both?
Yes.
See,
We
one
almost
thing
did
I-
last week.
One thing I love about going to Gatlinburg is like the waitresses and waiters, like they get hammered like on the job.
With you.
So like by the end of the night, it's a good time. Yeah, I bet so.
Then they start forgetting how many drinks you had, and then, yeah, you're good. Tiny Tina's on the menu for after work. Is that good? I don't know, but never heard about Tiny Tina's. Well,
Working on my 1.4T.
all right. Yeah, make sure not to over-torque anything in the head because it's made of tinfoil.
Who is the 300 horsepower cruise?
I don't know. It looks red from the thumbnail.
Corey?
Looks like he has sunsets wherever he lives.
So,
Yeah.
who do we got today?
There we go.
I'm Tyler.
Yep.
Tim. That's better.
I'm Trevor.
And I'm Al.
We should have done all T's.
Ah, who would have
Yeah,
been sworn?
screw me, right?
Al, get out.
Who else? Do we have any other T's? Oh, we have a bunch of Tylers. We could do
Yeah.
another Tyler.
We could do a Tyler
do all
episode.
Yeah, we could do Tyler. Well, not fully. We'd have to sub Trevor out for some random Tyler off
Yep.
the street. But
But
otherwise.
I can't even
Close
keep
enough.
up with.
Oh.
one sec.
Whoa, that was fun.
All I
Did you
do
do
is
that
move
with
the
the
light.
force?
I must have.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, stop touching that.
It's just blinding me in my periphery.
Yeah, we got some interference going on there. How many Tylers do we have right now?
3.
3.
Yeah. Me, TK, and T-Spain.
That's it.
That's
okay.
it. Yep.
But we had a couple others.
We had 4. We had
yeah.
Tyler. What was his other? Whoa, no. What was his name?
Tyler, Colorado.
Tyler
Yeah.
Strong.
Strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, all right.
We had another. Media guy, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we had 5 at the same time. though.
No. Never had
It's like my
We
4th
had a-
grade class.
We had a media Tyler?
Yeah, remember that one guy?
Oh.
Mitch's friend? He was here for like 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't do much. Well, anyway.
Anyways,
Didn't
So,
much except to dip out.
Inflation is at an all-time
Yeah.
high,
this is the problem we're talking about.
and
Used
everything
cars.
expensive.
Apparently are more expensive than new cars now a lot of times.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear that's just a Subaru thing. but-
People are saying they're buying cars just to resell on Carvana, and they make money off of them,
Yeah.
which is kind of
I
wild.
wonder if they're interested in a terrain.
I mean, my secret is you have to find the car like well, actually you can find them sometimes on the specific boards, but generally you just have to look in weird places for them.
Yeah.
And then you narrow your search engine and like come up with a cheap price and then find one and then just buy that and fix up whatever it needs. Most of these used cars that we're all playing with have some kind of like obvious damage.
Yeah.
Like there's a big dent in the door or a big scrape or something or
it
needs
needs an
it's-
intercooler.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just pick those up, do pretty quick fixes, and then you post them on that specific car's platform site,
Yeah.
and that's how you make the money. Like let's use an RX-7 for example. You can probably go to Auto Trader and find an RX-7 for $20,000, buy that $20,000 car, and then post it on an RX-7 Facebook page for $30, and you'll probably sell it within a week.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So that's like my little secret because I love buying and selling cars.
Especially if you have a really cool version of your car.
Yeah.
Because let's say you have a rare year trim Cobalt or whatever,
Yeah.
just selling it on Marketplace like it's just another Cobalt.
Yeah, nobody's gonna care.
On a Cobalt SS group, they're like, oh, that's a,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
Everyone
Yeah,
wants
any
it.
sedan.
Yeah.
If you buy a sedan SS,
Yeah.
then you're good to go.
I don't even like them, but they're like a holy grail of Cobalt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We were just talking about it yesterday. The sedan is.
I dislike them.
I like them. I like them more than a coupe, but
Yeah.
I can't say that might not. I might be a little biased because they're so rare.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been in so many Cobalts. Like
True.
I've probably sat in a few hundred Cobalts by now.
Yeah.
And then I've only sat in a few sedans. So I
it's
might be
just
a little
different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yep. Anyways, we're probably a little biased for this because I don't think any of us here have bought a new car. Have we?
Nope.
I've never bought a new car.
No.
I have
I haven't
no
even come
intentions
close.
to.
No. I will say the one thing that Zoom has preached that I think is true is never buy a used Tesla.
Yeah. I agree.
And I think
Yeah,
if
that would
I
make
had
sense.
the money to buy a Tesla, I would buy it new because, like you said, the warranty, you have to have a warranty
Yeah.
on a Tesla.
I would say that we are like we love and hate Teslas at the same time. We love them; they're fun, but they're boring.
Yep.
And they're soulless.
Yeah.
So it's like, are they going to take over? Maybe in 10 years or 20 years or something. But like, electric cars are cool, but they're still us,
Yeah.
and we're not going to have them.
No.
Do you want a Tesla?
No.
Do you want a Tesla?
No, they terrify
Do
me.
you want one?
Nope.
Like I like
Completely irrational. I know.
I like want one, but I know if I bought one, I'd sell it in like 2 months because I'd be like, all right, I did all the suspension mods. I guess there's nothing else to do to this car.
Yeah.
It's time to sell it.
When I drove the Model 3 recently, I drove it home and I was like, okay, this would be really cool to have in the winter as a car that you can get in, it's warm, and you drive it, and then that's it. Like, you put
Yep.
some snow tires on it,
Back
it's
and
all-wheel
forth
drive.
to work. Charge
Cool.
it every night.
But I could never imagine having one as an enthusiast car.
No, I agree. It would be
Yeah.
okay for a daily, maybe someday.
Yeah.
But I actually was talking about this topic to Aaron O'Neill the other day, because I'm like nearing the end of the lifespan of the Honey Badger, because as much as I love that car and I appreciate what it's done for me, like I don't do what I do because I want the fastest ion. It's what I had, and it's what I can be creative with and experiment with and learn with and all that kind of stuff. And it's getting to the point where that the things that I can do to that car are kind of running out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love the car, but I'm soon ready to go to another platform so that I can start that process over again, because that's why I'm a car guy, is that side of the...
You turned it to 10 and then found 11, and then that 11 became 10.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you turned it to 11 again, and it became 10 again.
Yeah, and now
so,
we're
yeah,
trying to
like-
get one last time out of
And
it.
Basically.
and now that you're going so fast that a 15-year-old Saturn might not be the safest thing to be
Yeah.
in.
Like,
so
Yeah.
maybe.
Al and I were talking about this because he was like, I have some ideas, I might switch platforms. And I'm like, man, like my ATS-V at 160 miles an hour, you could one finger drive it and look out the side window at stuff you're driving by. Like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
feels so safe. Like you're going 140 and you're like, oh, I'm going pretty fast. How fast am I going? Oh, 140. Oh, crap. Let's slow down, But the Honey Badger, I guarantee you feel all those miles
Oh,
per
it's
hour.
a rush. It's a rush for sure.
Maybe that's part of why it feels so good. Is it's so terrifying that your body's just
yeah,
like,
that's true.
well, we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't
Yeah.
be here. We shouldn't be doing
Yeah,
this.
my subconscious knows.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I could afford to buy a new car, I don't even know if I would at this point.
Even at the outrageous price of used cars right now, no matter which way I spin it, I find a way to justify a used one, I think.
Yeah.
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 It's hard to go in debt when you're out of debt too.
Yeah, that too.
So it's to buy a new car, like maybe if you're making payments on your vehicles you have, then it's like, oh, I'm just switching this payment for another payment. But,
Yeah.
But then like once you just kind of zero out and clear all the cars out and you're debt free, you're like, man, this
This is nice.
used car is
I
looking
can
real
do so
good.
many mods to all of my cars.
Yeah.
Per month.
And another one I think about, like, I love having a car that I can jump in, start it, and not feel guilty to just take off with it.
Yeah.
It is so nice. Like, my Sonic, I love the car. It's super nice. It's, like, one of the nicest Sonics out there,
Yeah.
like, really. But, like, I love that I can just jump in it and start it up and not feel guilty. Like, the ATS-V, it's like, it's got a, built engine in it. Like, I got to let it warm up for 10 minutes and then, all this. And then it's like you feel guilty driving your built engine to the gas station to pick up a propane tank for your grill.
Yeah.
So you're like, let's jump in the Sonic. Yeah.
Like that's why I push my car in and out all the time.
True. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
it has a very valid reason for doing that, but it's still annoying every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tim, that brings up a good question, actually. I just thought of. How do you guys feel about making payments on a race car? Because that's kind of the new trend I see a lot. Like, in the road course world, it's you buy a new Supra, you're cutting edge, you're going with the
Now
platform.
that would be a platform.
Like,
I
you get
didn't
all
like
the new cool stuff. You get to be out there. You, in theory, have all your money still, and you just pay per month. And if you wreck it,
I'm pretty careless.
that's a bad day.
I'm pretty careless. I mean, I would risk it, but it depends on your driving and man, like it's a gamble.
Yeah.
It's a gamble.
You really, you would have to have track insurance.
To track to
Yeah.
road
Oh, yeah.
course race an ATS-V, that is now a $50,000 car used.
Yeah.
Like you better pay that $150 to $250
For
track
a track
insurance.
weekend, yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, most like, when I accidentally, we had an issue with my ATS-V, so Steve loaned me his to go to a road course event, and then I went there and I'm like, man, like his brakes suck. Like, what is going on with these brakes? And I'm like, the fluid's boiling. I'm bleeding the calipers every session, and I'm like, he's got .3 fluid in here and power stop brake pads. Like, what the heck?
And you
Like,
could have gone right into a wall. and
yeah,
not
like
even
it
have
could.
known it.
Because like we've had enough road course experience to like get that hint of a brake pedal.
Yeah, you
because
can
you do
feel
get
it.
a hint.
Yep.
There's one time it takes an extra eighth of an inch of
And
brake
you're
pedal
like,
travel,
this isn't right.
and you're like, oh crap, that's my one warning. The next time I push this brake pedal, it's going to the
to.
floor. And man, you just.
When your brake pedal does what your throttle pedal does, it's a
when
bad
it's that,
time.
when it's that fluid.
It's like, whoop, and then you hit the bottom, and you're like,
I mean, how many Corvettes have you and I seen go totally off turn
Yeah,
11
yeah.
into the embankment? I know I've seen two, and it's all the same
crazy.
story.
oh yeah, there was
Dot
another
3
one
fluid.
the last track day.
Yeah.
It's wild that they even put .3 in a Corvette, but most old dudes aren't, driving them fast.
Yeah.
So they're going to.
Right, and like Steve's car that you were driving for street use, it never would have mattered.
Yeah, you're not going to
Yeah.
boil .3 on the street.
No.
If you are, you shouldn't be on the street.
You're that person driving down the road with a foot on their brakes and on the gas at the same time.
I couldn't even imagine what you would be doing on the street to boil brake fluid. Like, holy
20,
crap.
200 to 0 to 200 back to back.
So our LPG
Based on the
customers,
logs some of our customers have sent, we're probably close.
I should have kept some of the scan. Like, we need to do that. Like, we need to keep some like outlier
I keep every
scans from
single
customers, but like with notes maybe. 'Cause
oh yeah,
I
save
had
them
one
in a
dude.
separate folder.
I had one dude that did like what was it, like 10 like 20 to like 140 pulls in like a 20-minute scan. Like the time of the scan kind of defied the possibility of what he was doing with it. It was like a 15-minute scan with like over 10 top speed
Top
runs.
speed runs.
You're like, how did you do this?
What stretch of road are you on?
Like I literally I actually kind of yelled at him, like in my email response, like, why are you driving like this? Like, oh man.
Yeah,
Gets me.
if you did 10 top speed runs going south from Grand Rapids, you'd be in Kalamazoo by the end. Then you'd be like, oh, well, I might as well do them back up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
To Dizzle. Well, there's that guy that jumped the Tesla.
Yeah,
There is that guy.
There's that guy.
Is there anybody
Before
that
I
hasn't seen that
forget,
video?
is a tangent, but when you mentioned the new Supra, just in like the last 2 weeks, I all of a sudden like those cars now.
What changed your mind?
What's not to like? Yeah.
I started paying more attention to them. When they first came out and saw the stock photos, I was like, nah, undo, go back. You
You
messed
still
it up.
don't like the new 8.6 though?
Eh,
Maybe next week.
maybe. But like, what now that people are racing them and
Yeah.
you got like good suspension and
And
aero
aero
and stuff
and
like that,
nice
it's
wheels
like,
on 'em.
okay, these actually look pretty cool.
I was in the same boat with the C8 because the C8 stock wheels, there is not a single one that is worth a crap. But
Yeah.
you lower them and put a nice set of wheels on them, completely changes
Yeah.
the car. Completely.
Yeah, GM couldn't have done worse with their wheel choice
my-
on the C8s.
But they've the what's weird to me is they've had some cool wheels in the last
Yep.
few years. Like some of the newer trucks have really nice looking wheels.
Yep.
The newer Camaros have a pretty
C7.
solid. Yeah.
C7 Corvettes have cool wheels.
And then they came out with this mid-engine sports car for 60 grand, and they're like, here's your Steelies.
They put Grand Prix wheels
Yes.
from the late 90s on the new
the
C8.
97 twists. They're the same thing, but with black spokes too.
Yeah.
Some
Full
guy,
terrible.
some guy in the department was like, I really liked my GTP. Randy Balt, no, front-wheel drive does not suck for autocross, and some of
No?
the fastest time attack cars in the world are front-wheel drive. So, the old thought of you have to have a rear-wheel drive car to go fast around corners is gone.
Here's my point with that is that front wheel drive has a neat advantage, and that's like if you get the oversteer, you can throttle in and pull the car back straight, which is a really neat
Yeah.
advantage. And next, if you're a fast driver, you're so fast that you're not going to have wheel spin anyway.
Yeah.
If you're at Gingerman and you're a good driver, what are you at the slowest speed? 50?
55, yeah.
At 55 miles an hour when your tires are hot because you're on a road course, like you should have a racy tire on the car anyway, so the tire's hot. You're not going to slip.
Especially if you got some front end aero on it.
Yeah.
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 Which you should have if you're racing anyway. So yeah, front wheel drive, rear drive, all wheel drive I think is kind of dumb maybe
Yeah.
for road course.
Yeah, because
It's like drag race thing.
yeah.
Well, even just yesterday, Al was showing us a video of that English Racing's Evo 10 doing a 9 or 8. 8? It's
Yeah.
done 7s, though, right?
I don't remember.
I thought it did a high 7 last year.
It might have.
Anyways. And yeah, it's all freaking bobbling around down
Yeah,
the track.
Tim, did you see that video?
I don't think so.
So apparently Evos have this bunny hop situation that happens when you start getting into the higher horsepowers and launching them if you keep the all-wheel drive system. And
Yeah.
you watch Miles, he's pulling back on the hoon handle and
It's like
build
a
boost, and he lets
rodeo
it go.
bull.
And it's like a bucking bronco. He's like,
I bet
and
you
then-
I bet you I can tell you what it is.
and then after the 60 foot, it's done.
Wheel spin. Get a weird frequency between the front and the rear tires.
Probably.
I assume it has a lot to do with running
Yeah.
four-corner slicks because you can't just
Yep.
cram the rear up like we do with the front-wheel drive cars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So, if it spun a little more, it probably wouldn't do it. If it spun a little less, it probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and they're probably right where they need to be for slip, so they keep it there and just deal with that.
Just hold on. Yeah, Noah. Front-wheel drive and rally, I think they're still, like, top 3 places are usually front-wheel drive and
I think so.
Rally?
A lot
I
of
don't
the
really
new-
follow it,
A
but-
lot of the new Hyundais and Kias are kind of dominating the rally circuits now.
What?
Yeah. Ken Block went to Hyundai. He no longer drives for Subaru.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, because Travis does now, right?
I think so. One of the dudes. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
They sold him for the young buck.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to take a Hyundai and I'm going to beat you anyway.
getting back on used cars, though, I think one thing that probably a lot of customers wonder is, you know, I'm looking at my new project car now, whether it be a Cobalt or ATS, if you're dealing with us, you know, do I buy one now? And it's really hard. It's hard to recommend someone to buy a used car now, but at the same time,
Yeah.
is it going to get any
What's
better?
going on with those
Yeah.
ATSs? Because I wanted those to get cheap.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
a sweet truck.
I was waiting for sub 10K, and they were gonna
Yep.
be
got to like
great.
11, and then they're like 20.
Yeah.
Haha.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Kind of wild. But I mean, rear-wheel drive manual turbo car.
Yeah.
For less
and
than
we're talking
10K?
about the how the rare cars get special.
Yep.
I mean, you want a manual ATS. Like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manual, especially like a manual coupe or something like that. I'd like to see how many were made. And I was surprised. Me and Alex were looking up production numbers the other day. There was only 140,000 ATSs ever made from 2013 to 2020, which
7
isn't that
years?
many.
Yeah.
Considering you look at like a Grand Prix that in its
Jeez.
11 years sold over 1 million of them.
Do you know the percentage of manual to auto?
Nah, nothing that I could find.
It's got to be like 10%,
Because
right?
we were looking up LTG Camaros, because we sell ATS parts in droves compared to LTG Camaro parts, and it's always kind of been a little disappointing. Like, okay, why aren't the Camaro guys, buying more of our stuff? In 2017, less than 6% of Camaros made were LTGs that I could find by
Wow.
percentages. Like very, very few.
Well, I guess that explains it.
Yeah. So now I'm like,
Yeah.
oh well, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
if you're not a car modder and you're not buying the Camaro specifically to mod it, the V6 one feels better.
Yeah, it does.
You don't have turbo lag, which turbo lag to us is like big deal.
Yeah.
I know what to do. You just
You
power
just drive
brake
it
it.
differently.
Yeah, you drive it different. You power brake it, whatever. I'm gonna do all these mods and crank the boost up. But then you buy the V6 one, you're like, what do I do? Make
Yeah.
it loud?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, the V6 one is. But if you drive both and you're not a car mod person, you're gonna choose the V6.
Yeah.
That's why those production numbers are so darn low.
Yeah, and similar to a Corvette driver, they just want a cool looking car, so they get in it. And the V6 still has 300 horsepower. Like it's plenty enough for most people. So I can see why. It's just kind of sad that
Yeah.
there's not that many. But
And a complaint of mine too is GM tuned the V6 computer to feel better than the LTG on purpose.
because it's the up model.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it sucks because like you drive an LTG CTS, let's say the CTS, the luxury or of the two. You drive that in an LTG and there's like some throttle delay in there that's programmed in, and then there's like a lack of throttle sensitivity. Like you have to give it a lot of gas to make it move. And then you get in the V6 one and there's like no throttle lag.
They got a pedal commander on it.
And then
Oh,
and then
jeez.
yes. And then on top of that, they have like a pedal commander programmed into it to where you give it a little bit of gas and, it's
like,
all
whoa,
torquey.
yeah.
And you're like, how do they sell the LTG when
Why do
when
they even have it?
Yeah, it's terrible.
For emissions
Yeah.
ratings.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah,
gas
probably.
mileage between the two rated even that different?
No, I'm pretty sure they're pretty
Nice.
much the same.
Not much,
probably
right?
are.
Yeah.
The LTG does in the Camaro on 93 does get pretty good gas mileage,
Yeah.
but those V6s are
yeah,
pretty solid too.
they do
so,
as well.
yeah.
High 20s at least. I
the
that one I
V6s
drove
get
was
high
a-
20s in the trucks.
oh wow.
Yeah. I
Really?
think my dad's truck got 26.
Holy crap!
Wow.
I mean, it's a little Colorado.
Yeah,
but
Colorado. Yeah.
Still. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if the prices will ever come back down.
Yeah.
With how things are looking. So maybe
Yeah.
buy now, maybe buy whenever you want to.
I think
'cause
it just
hindsight's stupid.
it's just more work right now.
Yeah.
It's just harder.
It
you
is.
just have to look harder to find a good deal. Like I said, you just have to look in weird places for these cars. And, I know a lot of BMW stuff, but like when I'm looking at like 3 Series BMWs, like E46s, you'll just be looking through a standard 325s and 330s and you'll just stumble across a ZHP car and you're like, holy crap, they don't even know that this is a special rare model,
That was the one that was basically an M3 without the M3 engine or something like that.
Yeah, I had one, and I stumbled across one. I'm like, whoa, I should buy that and just, flip it, put it on the BMW pages. But, yeah, same thing. Like, for example, Spec base model Cobalt is on.
It is officially on, guys.
It is officially
Is
on.
it? You sent your driver?
Yeah, my driver, my dad, is trucking trailered up and
He's on the
picking it
way.
up tomorrow.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
That is a 2000.
When do we get to see it?
I am a proud owner of a 2008 22 base model 5-speed car. And Trevor, he's looking. He's working out negotiations on one.
I already have one technically.
Tyler, yeah. I mean, we'll
We're at
do.
3.
We'll get on road course and we can make some adjustments to get the base model auto to keep up.
Like a tranny cooler.
Just keep it in
Tranquil.
second all the time.
Yeah. So just a real short version, just in case you guys don't
It
know.
would shift to third.
Is we want to do a road course event, like a whole bunch of us ZZP people and customers. I mean, but you guys have to follow the same rules that we're doing, and we'll come up with probably some kind of video series on this, I would imagine. But it's going to be super budget base model.
Yep.
Like the cheapest 200 treadwear tire that we can buy.
Yep.
They're already 4x100, so
great.
it's going to be
Superior
cheap
bolt
wheels. And it will be a super budget class. So this is something you could literally just buy a $600 car like I did, fix up whatever it needs, throw a few mods at it, and then go to a track and get more people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do
And,
this.
and your consumables will be very low because
super
Yeah.
cheap.
you won't be braking because
Yeah.
they're not fast.
Yeah.
And they're light. So I think
Like your typical brake check is all you're gonna need before you hit the corner.
Just a quick little tap and then here we go.
So when's the first event?
I don't know.
Good life.
I think my thought is we'll engineer this spec base model on my car.
All right.
Like playing with spring rates with
Yep.
the coilovers and all
Yep.
that kind of stuff. And then we'll get that dialed and then we'll just keep looping cars in after that. So
Here's the mod list, guys. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's a car that, I'll throw the keys to Al and teach Al how to road course because there's
Which needs to
nothing
happen
better.
eventually.
There's nothing better to learn how to road course in than a slow
car.
a slow butt car.
Yep.
Like that's what you need. Once you could drive a slow car fast, then you can throw some power at it.
Yeah, there you go, Whittison.
Oh.
Expand your horizons.
Oh, base model and an engine.
Hey, I need a 08 base model engine.
08 LEP or is it L61?
No, L61 still.
Cool.
Yeah, Jason,
So,
are you
customers, I
thinking
need an
like
L61.
You want to sell thinking or thinking like you want to do this with us thinking?
Yeah.
Both are very okay.
Yeah, I
both
don't know.
are very good
Jason
options.
likes going straight, but I think he could do some turn things.
Yeah, you got me going here. Like the base, you said you have
Figure
a
it
base
out,
model
bud.
and an engine. I hope it's a base model with an engine in it, and you have an extra engine for me.
Yeah, let's hope so. Too bad we don't have those L61s anymore. Brand new.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yep.
I debated buying one just to stick in the garage, just in
You know?
case mine ever died. But
Hindsight, you wish you did.
it's hindsight's stupid.
Sure wish I did.
Yep.
I found a new base model engine on eBay for like $1,600, and I'm like,
Panda
Parts
Parts is
Panda?
coming.
Parts Panda.
Yes.
Is the Parts Panda a 2.2 or is it a 2.4? I never knew with base model HHRs if they were 2.2s or 2.4s.
Isn't there both?
I think they come in both. Like the
so,
LT was
Well, that's just a lot of extra
2.4
work.
and LS
I think
was
they did
2.2.
come with a 2.2 because we did a top speed HHR. We did the swap.
Oh, that's
and
right.
We had his engine for a long time. I don't know what happened to it because it'd be going in my car that needs one.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I think HHR's got 2.2s too.
Okay, all right.
We could let
We
a
could
2.4
open
out,
it
though.
up.
You're getting handicapped,
I
but
don't know why GM kept
Weight
both
ballasts.
engines for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know either. But then why the L61 or the 2.2 get changed so many times? It was the old Batchfire one, and
was
then you had
weird.
the regular L61, and then you had the LAP.
why did they make both the 2.2 and the 2.4? Because they're really not
That-
that different.
It's like 20 horse.
Yeah, they're like 0.2 different.
Well,
Yeah, that one's weird.
10% different.
did someone like mess up the scale and they like accidentally bumped like 10% increase?
All right, Jason, you're in. Put that engine in that car and let's do this.
All right.
Give me like a month to get the engine in the car and get a basic parts list
No,
going, and then
it's
we'll
Tim.
do.
It'll be like 4 days.
Probably.
That's true. Yep.
And then yeah, let's do this. Super cheap.
I'm here for it.
Yep.
Budget racing because this is all like our second, third, or fourth cars.
We have too
so-
many.
Well, and
Something
also
we're-
like we're always looking at the stats of social media, whatever. And you two guys are out there.
Yeah.
Our top 5 mods videos, which are some of our best videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
The 2.2 Cobalt top 5 mod, is it our third highest now.
Yeah.
I think it's our
Holy
third.
crap!
Almost second. And
Yeah,
it's-
the first two are the 3800
Uh-huh.
supercharged, then 3800 naturally
NA.
aspirated, and now
Yep.
2224 top
it's
5 mods.
almost past NA, and it's gaining views twice as fast as 3800 supercharged.
Oh boy, sounds like we're missing a platform that we might have to start engineering more parts in.
It sounds like we're gonna be. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll be fun. I'll
Well,
learn the
we've got
limits.
hacksaws and cams, so I think
We do.
can make some
do.
some cams for them.
yeah, talk about production numbers.
Yeah, and Al's been doing a bunch of research on NA mods from his Circle Track buddy guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a guy who posted yesterday 2.0 with a 2.4 head. Let me pull it up.
No, 2.4 with a 2.0 head.
Yeah, 2.4 with a 2.0 head, and it made 299 wheel horsepower.
Oh boy. And I mean,
NA.
whew,
We don't need
That's
it.
decent.
that's decent.
Decent. And that's over double stock.
I know.
That's awesome. I would love to have a 300 horse NA car.
I meant like a bubble's decent. Like decent.
Oh, yeah.
Walk a bolt-on LSJ. That would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, to get back on topic.
Wait, I need to grab Noah hammocks. No, you don't want an NA LSJ.
Dude,
Yeah.
no. I'm not explaining why, but I've been there, done that. No.
It's not good.
So bad.
Go on, Trevor.
Like, talking about the Teslas and stuff, the Teslas and all new cars, I guess you could say, are so weird because you don't think about anything. Like, we think about, like, oh, I want to buy this car. I got to do this, this, and this. I want to drag race it. I got to do this, this, and this. I want to road course it.
Mm-hmm.
The Teslas don't. Like,
No,
you
they're
want to
just
go,
like car.
you want to go road course? You're just like, oh,
Tires.
yeah, I got 3 extra hours today. I'll just go all
Yeah.
seasons and just, like, walk everybody, drive home. Drag race, all Tesla dudes, they just show up to the drag strip and they do like 2 passes and leave. And they're
That was
like,
Yeah.
Zoom. He showed up in his P100D on all seasons and ran a 10 and was like, okay, that's good enough. Bye.
Yeah.
Left. Can you imagine how much prep we go into
So much.
for a drag race day? Like, you got to get it on the trailer, make sure the tires are good, put all the tools in. And they just show up and they're like, push this button,
Yeah, it's like
wait 2 seconds.
a,
and
a
then
Wednesday test and tune is a 2-day prep.
it is.
Yes.
Monday, you're like, okay,
So
what needs
much
to
work.
get done? All right, change the oil. Do we got gas in it? All right.
Yep.
Load it on the trailer 4 hours before. Something's going to break.
by 2 day, you
Crazy.
mean one very late night and one very early morning.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was Zoom running 10s in his P100D, and then us with the Model 3.
Yeah.
We get this 100% stock Model 3 and took second place at a I guess you'd call not really nationals, but like a final autocross event.
Yeah.
It was multiple autocross events that they had one event at the end of the year that was like the fastest 20 people, and it lost to a C7 Z06.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
On 305 100 treadwear tires.
yeah. And this was a 100% stock Model 3.
Yep.
On
just-
the Pirellis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're teeny tiny tires. Like, what
Yeah.
are those? What are those
35
things?
series?
235s?
Yeah,
On like a
235,
9-inch
35.
wide
I'm
wheel?
amazed that car didn't push more than it did.
Oh, it does.
Well, I mean, watching it,
Yeah.
you expect it to
like,
just
just plow
you, you
through.
turn the wheel and it's just
Yeah.
knowing how heavy they are.
Yeah, they're heavy. But man, that out of corner acceleration.
I think it takes away, other than being broke, I think one of the reasons
Yeah.
you don't buy a new car as a car guy is it takes the fun away of progressing.
Yeah, I mean, we
Because-
all like wrenching. That's the end of the story.
Like
That's
like
why
Al
we're
said,
here.
it's about the progress of getting your car there.
But
And-
like you said, the money thing, if I could, I would have one of each.
yeah, oh yeah.
I would have a turnkey brand new race car and a tinker car.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I
Just-
agree with that.
Just because tinkering is part of the whole deal.
yeah.
We-
Sometimes you get bored of tinkering.
We around here are mostly guys who enjoy the passageway of from stock car. You're working on it. You're putting in your sweat. But sometimes it's nice to just hop in something that's really fast, and you don't have to worry about it. So
One thing that I like about racing a new car is, like, let's use a Cobalt for example. Cobalt versus an ATS-V. Both very, very fast, very capable cars on road course. But let's say this Cobalt's the typical 140 to 160,000 mile car. 2 road course days. You're gonna need like what? 2 wheel bearings?
Yeah.
You know,
Probably.
There's so many items that you have to replace. There's so many. Like, okay, here's the next one. You start getting engine codes.
Yep.
Remember Noah? Mm-hmm. His car ran perfect, but when you go to the road course and all of a sudden he's popping engine codes, going into limp mode.
Yep.
Like my ATS-V worked 100% of the time. Like
Yeah.
that is nice.
Yeah,
that's 1 point for new race cars.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have 12 years of salt on those wheel bearings and
Yeah.
your bushings and all that, and
Oh,
you
bushings.
might go into a track
What
day
bushings?
with
Yeah.
the car feeling good, and then halfway through you're like, oh, my cabs are blown and my
Yeah.
wheel bearing's bad, and
Yep.
My shocks are leaking, my struts are leaking. Like, your first road course day, like you're lucky to make it the first session, and then you bring your notepad. Everybody, bring your notepad and your pen, because the first like 2 laps, you're like, well, I need this, I need this. Go pit in real quick, let everything cool down, let the smoke escape your wheels from your brakes.
And if you don't write it down there, you will forget and go back again and do the same thing.
Yeah.
And be really mad at yourself.
Or you show up in your '04 Saturn Iron Redline with a Cobalt exhaust on it that then melts one of the hangers and then melts your gas tank.
Oh boy,
That might have been an oversight on that point.
You know, when I brought my first Sky to, Grid Life, holy crap, that was a hot mess. Like, I learned, I got some weird codes.
Yep.
So that's something to deal with. I had an engine coolant issue.
Yep.
Which I think those stupid little bleeder things fixed. But, I had an engine coolant issue. That engine just sucks. Like, the cooling hoses on the Kappa are terrible. The car just overheats spontaneously when you have plenty of radiator and plenty of thermostat and everything.
Yeah.
And then I had the Kappa is also known for the canister sucking the tank dry.
Yep.
So like you have to have half a tank of fuel in the Kappa to keep it going, and that's OEM, everything original.
Jeez.
I will say my Camaro is the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least my LTG one. I don't know if Steve's ever has this issue, but
Is it
I
a
have-
hump tank like the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to have at least a half a tank in the car, or else it sputters out of corners.
Wow, that's disappointing.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Like I suffered with it for a while, and I thought it was, running out of pump or something because I was on E85, and then at the same Grid Life event, I was like, I'm at like 3/8 of a tank. Let me just fill up, and I filled up, totally fine, cleared it up same day.
That's pretty much the same thing I did
Yeah.
with the Kappa. Yep.
So
Do we need
every-
to start developing surge kits for all of our platforms?
Yeah,
Are we at that point?
Every session I had to go to the
Some of that
gas
stuff
tank.
is on my R&D list.
yeah.
One of my favorite things to do with a requirement for the Kappa is I have like 5 gas cans, 5-gallon gas cans.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Just bring them.
Oh.
Bring like at least 2 or 3 of them. You could probably do one session on a full tank, and then second session you better put 5 gallons in at least. Go back out again.
Well,
You know.
what do our cars have? 12, 14-gallon tanks, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Gallon of gas is 6 pounds, if I remember right.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's, if you could run at half a tank, that's a 50-pound savings at least.
Yeah. It
Like,
would be nice to
it
be able to
helps.
run low,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you just can't on
It's
these
not
cars.
worth risking it, obviously, but
Yeah.
Generally, it runs out so quick that it won't hurt anything. You're not
it's
gonna
just
like
cutting.
Yeah, the engine just shuts
Yeah, just
off.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to lean out and break a bunch of parts.
And you go through gas fast.
Yeah.
One track day in the Camaro, I got 4.2 miles a gallon.
Wow.
I drove over 100 miles on the track. I
Oh,
got
wow.
4 miles a gallon.
What do you think Steve got between Applebee's and ZZP?
So,
About a half?
Steve, if you're watching, we love you. But I get in his cammed V8 Camaro today,
2018.
2018, and his default screen on his cool infotainment thing is the mile per gallon calculator.
Yup.
And he has all the race car screens,
Yeah,
right?
he's got
Like-
all the cool ones. He's on miles per gallon. I'm like, I guess if that's what you enjoy.
Yeah,
It's like
it's not in the
7.
G-force meter.
No.
It's not.
the 30 to 100 timer or anything.
Man, I wouldn't want to have to face that disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting 12? Cool. I'm just going to keep going. So with used stuff, since we got 20 minutes left here, what are your guys' thoughts on used parts?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's tough for me.
As a car guy, when I started out the first 2 years into modding cars, that's all I did. Never bought a new part.
Yep.
Only just Facebook Marketplace, search my car, parts.
It is so risky. Number
It's
one.
risky, yeah.
Number one, you send somebody money. Do you get the part?
Yeah.
Number one problem. Number two problem, when you get that part, what is jacked up with it?
Exactly.
What
Why
parts
were
are
they
missing?
selling it?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are they selling it? Like, if you have a Cobalt and you see a used InGen intake or a used K&N intake,
It's got a hole in
pass.
it.
It's got a hole in it.
Like if it's an LSJ, it's got a hole in it.
It's got a hole in it. It's 2.5 inch in diameter, so it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
just buy a new intake.
Yeah.
You know, our intake is 3 inch, and it makes like 10 more horsepower than both those intakes. Like, you
But
know,
then, for me, it kind of depends on the part. I will still buy used things here and there, but I've always been I'll drive to buy whatever I'm getting.
That's what I always
Like
did
when
too,
I built
yeah.
the base model, I was over in Detroit, I was down in Ohio, Indiana, buying all sorts of stuff. But it was always because I, one, don't want to pay for shipping, but two, you want to look at a part before you get it. But
Yeah.
now, knowing what I know now, warranties are huge.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
anything, I would say if I'm going to spend more than $200 on it, I would rather pay a little more and have a warranty on
I'm
it.
trying to think of what parts I would say are okay to search and hunt for used. And I keep ruling
Really?
them all out.
I
Like,
think really when it comes to used parts in the current market, it should only be what you can't get new.
yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
For the most part.
Stuff that's back ordered, out of stock. It's
Except for rear LSJ brake calipers.
Yeah. Don't get remands. Get a new
They
one.
always leak.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's pretty difficult and it's risky to buy used parts. So, I mean, I would say if you can get it new, just get it new.
Yeah.
Like I know a bunch of people, myself included. I got pretty lucky, but I've also been screwed. Used coilovers.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
there is-
Never, ever. I would
Even
not
if
do
they
Say that, I've got a set I need
look
to sell.
brand new, even if
Except for KW.
you know the dude only put, I don't know, 100 miles on them. If he had them at the wrong setting for 100 miles, they're wasted.
Yeah, they could be whooped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought so many sets of used suspension, and I spent. Let's see, I had on the base model I had 4 different sets of lowering springs, and then I bought used BCs. So I had over what a set of coilovers would have been into it, and I don't know. Part of it's kind of fun, like what's different, but I don't know.
Oh, there's
Just kinda go with the
here's a good one, blowers. When Joel and I did our 2.4 blower car, I didn't know it at the time. We just bought one that we found, but the rotor packs. You can visually in 2 seconds check if it's
wasted or not.
good
Oh, yeah.
shape or not. So
yeah.
Yeah. If the rotors are all scored up from
if you see
somebody
shiny,
running no air filter, then
If
pass.
they are silver, you do not want them.
Yeah.
because that's like you're kind of screwed. Like that's a
Y-
tough
yeah,
thing to
'cause
fix.
you can't resell it. Nobody really recoats them,
Yeah,
and so.
that's a big custom job.
But at the same point, they're discontinued. They're gone. You can't buy a new one. So you have to do your due diligence. If you're on a forum or on, we always say forums, but Facebook. If you're on Facebook in a page and somebody's offering something to sell, ask other people. Ask a mod or an admin.
Yeah,
Have you seen this person selling before? Are they reliable? Even if you get no answer, it's worth 10 seconds. But yeah, you can still get screwed because they can put a picture up of whatever you want.
yeah. We
Or
just
whatever
had
they
a,
want.
customer, Kyle's customer, bought a used turbo kit.
Oh yeah.
Our turbo kit. So he contacts Kyle and he's like, "Hey, I'm missing a couple things here. I got it for a great deal. Can you maybe split up a kit, help me out?
Yep.
Get the missing pieces." And Kyle's like, "Yeah, sure. Let me." And he's missing 90% of it now, and he's gonna pay more
I think
for the missing pieces than.
I think
Yeah,
with
between buying the used kit and buying the missing pieces, he's going to pay more than if he just bought the whole thing new.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you don't have a warranty.
Yeah.
Sticker shock can be high sometimes, but it's
worth it.
Yeah, especially kits. I think that would be, if you take anything away from it, one thing that I would recommend is do not buy a kitted product, as in it has multiple parts and pieces. Turbo kits. Man.
I mean,
brake kits,
even
stuff
an
like
exhaust
that.
system.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy an exhaust system, and you're gonna be missing half your bolts, all your gaskets, and that's not easy to
clamps,
find all that
like-
again. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to find a nice...
One of your flanges is gonna be bent or warped, and you're never gonna get it to see right.
oh, wait, like me. That I've fought for 6 years.
Or he told you it was a Cobalt exhaust, and it's an HHR one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's tough. It's kind of a crapshoot. But yeah, if you buy any kit, we get so many questions in emails about ATS and Camaro intercooler kits. They're like, hey, man, this dude put his car back to stock, and he sold me his intercooler kit for $100 less than you. But it's an ATS kit, and I have a Camaro. Can I have the brackets? And then we sell them the brackets for $100. It's like, okay. You could have just bought... Was this really worth all the effort?
Yeah.
People are dumb.
Yep. But new parts. They could be an old part. Like maybe the part's been revised.
Yeah, that too.
So I don't know. I think most of the time just buy new.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. And I agree. Like if you have a kit that has a turbo kit. A turbo kit has, 40 to 60 pieces?
Lines, bolts.
And you have some
gaskets.
shade tree mechanic pulling it off. Do you think you're going to get all the parts?
No, they're going to leave stuff
Like,
on. And
parts are going to be stripped.
Yep.
And nobody wants to make 20 runs to the hardware store.
No.
Like, most of us are learning how to mod our first vehicles when we're working on these cars. Like, you don't want to deal with that. Just buy the complete kit.
Yeah.
Then you have somebody to yell at when your parts are wrong. Like, hey, you guys, you forgot my downpipe bolts. Oh, my bad. Let's send those to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, that's worth having somebody to call and yell at and be responsible for it.
Yep. Suspension used is bad. Okay. Yep. 100%.
Unless you're buying it from a friend, like Noah.
Oh, yeah.
He's switching to a fancy, newer, better suspension. He's going to have his leftover suspension. Hell yeah, buy that. Powell setup with all the fancy, best model struts and shocks. Yeah, run that. Your buddy at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would emphasize not buying used suspension for the most part.
Yeah.
Maybe a sway bar.
Yeah.
Well,
You can't
that's
really go wrong
reasonable.
with a sway bar, I guess.
Kind of tough to screw up a sway bar.
JPL, I saw you mentioned talking about a used cam. A 3800 cam, dude. Yeah, I would run it, no problem. I wouldn't, the cams are stamped on the end what they are. So if it's an XPZ, it's got comp cam stampings of XPZ on the end. And it's so obvious. It's so simple. Like, are all the cam bearing and, rocker surfaces smooth? If they are, run it. It's good. If you take a caliper and check the base circles, maybe. But if it's shiny and smooth, run it.
Yeah.
Our race cars are not put together with perfect parts.
No.
Half of them are like, oh, this got returned because there's a whatever blem on it. Cool, here we go. Throw it in the race car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, other than my short block, everything else I built my car with was used.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you know what you're doing, it can be done fine.
Yeah. You even get blem stuff for free because this resonator was stamped funny. Here we go. Put it on this car.
Yep.
Whatever. It's
Yeah.
perfect way to get rid of that
It's
stuff.
close enough to make it work. Run it.
Yeah.
Noah says, I like how old HKS parts can be worth buying. It might be cool in the future
Yeah.
that ZZP parts are on the same.
You guys just might want to hold on to some of those ZZP stamped parts.
Yeah.
'cause-
Well, think about right now. If you have an HV3, and I don't know who would take out an HV3 before they sell a car, but if they
maybe they
did,
went back to a blower.
If you do have an HV3, Bo needs one for his Regal
Yeah.
right now.
yeah,
Yeah. I just found out 2 weeks ago he's just running it with nothing in
Yeah.
there.
yep.
Nothing. Yeah,
And it
I
still
know.
makes decent power.
Did you sleep that night that you found out about that?
Not really. Like, come on, man.
Because I know how OCD you are. Like, he told me, and I was like, twitching. Like, oh my gosh.
So I have to ask because I never knew. Was there an HV1 and HV2,
Oh man, that's actually a good story.
or did it go straight to HV3?
It's not actually HV1. It's high velocity insert. Somewhere along the line, people just kind of
It was HVI.
Yeah.
it's HVI.
No
Yeah.
way.
And then we just, the first person made the mistake, and I think I noticed. I was like, oh crap. Well, I guess it's HV3 now. HV2, HV3. It's like, okay. Yeah, so it was a couple different revisions. The first one was actually a plate that you took the upper intake off the lower intake, and you sandwiched it in there like the inner core.
Oh, okay.
So it sat higher.
Yeah, raised the whole thing.
Yep. And then a lot of people had leaking issues with it.
Yeah,
So we ended up
can
switching it to keep it totally inside. And then we don't buy our HV3 from that same vendor anymore, so we had to re-engineer it so it's like 100% ZZP.
Yeah.
Because trademark stuff. I don't know. I don't remember what the term is called, but it wasn't designed by us.
Yeah.
We bought it from Machine Tech, so they own the rights to that. So we're
we need to remake it.
designing our own, which will be the HV4 since we already called it the HV2 and 3. So it'll be
And-
great. It'll perform exactly the same. It just has
I
to
think
look
this
different.
new one's gonna be even better. Like that was kind of what part of the redesign.
I mean, it has room to. If the thicker
Yeah.
you make it and the smoother the radius is, like it, in theory, could perform better for sure.
Yeah. So do we call it the Ace? What in the what
What are you
language
talking
am I
about?
talking?
Tyler
here?
did another confuse.
SHV, super high velocity.
Super laser
Or
powered.
the HVR.
Oh yeah, because the R is for race.
Yeah.
At this point, why not?
Well, yeah, exactly.
HVIR.
Hiver.
Yeah, we definitely need to bring that thing back. That is an amazing product. Like, there's a couple of ZZP products that makes me mad that they didn't take off better.
Yeah.
Like, the HV3 was an amazing product. Like, it only gives you 9 horsepower at peak, but that's at 5,600. At $6,000, the factory inserts killed your power. Like, your power took a dive to where you were down like 25 horsepower by $6,000.
Dang.
And then you put this HV3 in there, or the 123, and you gain like 20 to 25 horsepower at $6,000.
Wow.
And then here's another thing. That's just like the stock cam. So then you put like a GT2 cam in it that wants to rev to 6,500. Think about what the gains are then. We never dynoed that combo.
Yeah.
It's a huge.
I would
NA
totally
upgrade.
rock a GT2 high stall HV4
Yeah.
3800. Like that'd be
Yep.
a lot of fun.
342 gears.
Yeah.
So you take a 305 differential, and then you have your 369 gears in it. 342s would be magical.
Yeah.
It'd be sweet. 3,500 stall.
Well, I know what we're doing with the Silver Grand Prix.
I think that's pretty much what we're doing with it.
All right. Sweet.
Yeah. So that
We
that'll
got
be
one of those new
Yeah,
high stall
get that
converters.
trash
putting it.
blower out of that thing. Ruined that car.
I don't know why we ever did that.
I don't know either, and I don't know who made that call because I'd have fought them.
I didn't even know it had a turbo on it.
Oh, blower.
Go home, Tim.
Tim's like, it's time to go.
about to come over this table.
Oh,
No, that
hey,
was
Mom and Dad.
it was supposed to be fun, but the guy that took it out for the maiden voyage test drives kept blowing it up. Like, hey, don't beat on that because I need to scan it and maybe put it on the dyno. And he blew it up like
Beats
2 or
on it.
3 times in a row before the keys even got put in my hand. Like,
That was by far my favorite car to snag for a highway cruise.
yeah, he'll be up and running again.
Eventually.
It's a good car.
And that's actually, that car has 369 gears in it.
See, we're there.
So we can
halfway
put
there
the
already.
305 diff in that. Boom. 342 gears.
Not bad.
So it'll still cruise decently down the highway.
Yeah.
Can you?
Can you create car parts on a Cricket?
I don't see why not.
Erica's new Cricket can cut balsa wood. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see?
Isn't that what Corvettes are made out of?
Pretty much.
Their floorboards and firewalls.
Might as
Balsa
well
wood.
be.
It is.
Really?
I'm not joking. It's like
I
a
thought you were
thing.
joking.
No. I'm gonna look it up. You guys keep talking.
Well, the rest of the car is really weird. The leaf springs are fiberglass. The whole body is plastic and fiberglass. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also
Very well could.
we also found out that through the C7, they were still using leaf springs.
Yeah, the C606 entire floorboard was made of a stamped sandwich balsa wood and carbon fiber composite material.
What?
Yep.
All right, so we are making
Wow.
Corvettes at home.
And-
And you
Yeah.
can only print 12 by 12, but
Oh.
Some more vet knowledge. I think the C3 vet had a cable wired into from the seat to the frame to keep the driver or what's left of the driver inside the car in case it's a bad accident. There's a cable.
Wow.
so
Where would the seat
That's
go?
confidence inspiring.
I mean, the seat is mounted to the floor of the car, but if you get in a bad accident and the seat rips off the floor, which obviously happened because they had to add a cable.
yeah.
So, yeah, you just kind of like gumball around in the car.
Can you imagine they're
Bing
they're
bong,
doing the
bing
crash
bong.
test dummies, and
Bing
then
bong.
dummy in the seat flies out the windshield, and they're like, "Ah, just strap it in, it'll be fine."
Because here's the thing,
Put a
like,
cable on him.
you got to keep in mind what the news does. Like, if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
in an accident and you are ejected from the vehicle, what is in the title of the ad?
Yep.
The driver was ejected from the vehicle.
Yeah.
If you cable the seat in the car, you can't say the driver was ejected.
wow.
Yeah, I learned that from Matt Mikoff.
Wow.
Like, he has that car.
Yeah, he does. He has a C3.
LS turbo swapped C3 Corvette.
If he ever gets in an accident, he's not going anywhere.
I've actually seen back in the day he had a carbureted V8 in it with a centrifugal, and yeah,
Sounds like a really bad time.
one time it was. You know, us mod guys, we all have these stories. So I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about Matt because he's the smartest guy in ZZP, but like he had an incident where the throttle stuck around a turn.
Uh-oh.
This car ran low 11s. Throttle stuck around a turn, and he went like in the ditch, in this car.
Dang.
Yeah, it was bad times.
That same car?
Yeah,
Did
same
he
car.
fix it all?
Oh yeah, it's all fixed. That's a sweet car. Like
Oh, I remember him telling me
Because
about
that car's got a lot of clever bodywork
Yeah.
little things in it.
it's got like a Batmobile body kit that's full molded in.
Yeah.
And they did a killer job because that car has been like that for like, I've known Matt for 20 years. That car has been like that since I've known him.
Oh, wow.
And it's still like, I mean, I guess it needs a paint job because it's been sitting outside.
Yeah.
But the body work is solid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really nice body kit worked into that car.
JPL says 369 gears in a supercharged car.
Oh no, don't do that. Like maybe if it's drag only, but like you better.
You're not
Pull-
cruising the highway
Oh my
with that.
gosh. Well, I'm talking more about like when would you ever be able to use first gear?
What's what comes in on GTP?
Burnouts.
292.
Oh wow, that's
292s with the bicycle sprockets turned around is 369. That's how you make a
Ah,
369. You just swap the front sprocket to the rear.
So what's a GTP do in first gear?
It does about 50.
So with the 369, it'll be
maybe
do
50,
about
not- You know what? My
38,
bad.
40.
My bad. I know better than this. This has been a while. Bo took over tuning. They do like 55 to 60 in first gear.
Okay. So with 369s, they do like 40.
30.
Woo! Talking
Yeah,
about a
'cause
useless
Bo
first.
said
yeah.
he shifts once in the quarter mile. Right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
it sounds like a 292 car, yeah.
Yeah.
1 to 2. That's it. Well, no wonder he beat the Sonic.
Might as well glide swap it.
ATSV flex fuel package. I don't
on the
know.
website?
Email me, Tim at ZZ Performance. I can walk you through that. We've got some really cool stuff coming out for the ATSV soon.
A lot of cool
like
stuff.
7th and 8th fuel injectors for that baby.
That was I saw one comment
yeah.
earlier that said the ATSV used market is a good time to buy right now.
It's a terrible time to
terrible.
buy right now.
Well, what they said was in reference to how much the other cars have inflated.
Oh,
Like it's saying
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
inflated less than
It does
some of the
seem
other
like
ones.
sub $10,000 cars inflated a lot.
yes.
10 to 20 inflated a lot, and after that it's like less and less and less.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because what was a $2,000 car is now a $5,000
Yeah,
car.
like doubled.
Yeah.
Because we sold our 1.8 Sonic for $5,000,
Yeah.
and it was a S box.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Pretty much.
Way too much money.
And that should have been an $1,800
I
car.
But
thought
that's what they're going for.
Yeah, that's.
I thought the car had like 90-some thousand, so I put that in the ad. And then when the guy that came to pick it up, I jump in it, and it was like 50,000 miles. And I was like, this car only has 50,000 miles. Sorry about that. I guessed the mileage wrong in it. And he was like, all right, cool.
that car only
Give us
had
a lot of money.
50,000 miles on it.
Yeah, we bought it like really like. It didn't have very many miles on it when we bought it.
Wow.
I didn't know that was a car we had that long.
JJ, yes, no one is really qualified to work on the F-35 except for Jason Peroto does it, B3 Designs. But really, if you're looking for another F-35, it's almost better just to get an F-40 swap.
Yeah, that's
For sure.
Or F-23.
Or F-23 if you want to do a budget. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to do a budget swap, an F-23 can be done for very cheap.
But if you can, however you have to do it, afford an F-40, just
you
do
can
it.
still
It's
buy
worth it.
you can buy brand new F-40s on eBay for $900.
Yeah.
They drive nicer. They shift nicer, in
Which-
my opinion.
If you're
Yeah.
pulling a
Strong.
transmission out,
Yeah, the F-23 it's a stronger transmission than the F-35, but it drives like junk.
It's like driving a dump truck.
Yeah, pretty much. They're not ideal.
have you driven a dump truck?
I have.
Really?
They shifted for similar. It's rough.
What?
It's unpleasant.
When did you drive a dump truck?
I was like 9.
9?
Somewhere
little
between like
little
9 and
L
12.
in a dump truck, of course.
Yeah.
I
You
drove.
guys didn't? What?
I grew up in Dorr, which is just as country as where Al came from. I definitely drove a few dump trucks.
Yeah.
Whatever the trucks are that drive next to the grain machine that dumps the grain in the back. Yeah, I've driven a whole bunch of those. They're a ton of fun. Gotta get the airbag settings right so you have traction so you don't get stuck in the field. You know, yeah.
I think I've only seen one dump truck in my life.
Wow.
Oh, they're so fun.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
fun.
Especially
Especially
because you just like mow the gears and then you're going
Yeah.
25.
and they have like they don't have a hydraulic clutch. It's like a mechanical clutch. So oh boy, oh boy,
Yeah. That would be good.
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. There's
Anyways,
a reason they don't make them like that anymore.
So what's the used dump truck market like right now?
You know?
on that note about dump trucks, now that you know,
Hey, it's after 5. Look at that.
good luck to anyone out there shopping for a used car. We're very sorry about
Yeah.
your loss.
Yeah.
Uh,
Buy
You know who to
something.
thank.
Buy something you like at the end of the day, and it'll always be worth it. So,
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
check Facebook Marketplace in your area and stretch it out to bigger areas. Go to Auto Trader, go to Car Gurus, go to cars.com.
offer up.
Auto
Surprisingly.
Tempest, I think like Search Tempest, something like that.
It searches all of Craigslist, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh.
you can take a page out of Tim's book and search in places that you can fly to.
Yeah.
But because you can hop on and find flights for $60.
Don't just
And drive
drag
it
the
back.
slider to more and more miles. Move the dot to the nearest major city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yep, I
And
do
go,
that
and
too.
go south.
Yeah, go
Yes,
south.
south.
Ask
Yep.
for undercar pictures, and if they're not willing to take those undercar pictures, then obviously you don't want that car. On to the next one.
Yep. Hey, Matt. Glad you joined us. Let me know how your
Too bad we're
flywheel
leaving.
issues go.
Yeah.
He ended up getting a billet steel flywheel. So,
Alright.
but nice to see Brett fresh in here too. F40 swap is pretty straightforward. If you're putting a 35 in, you're doing an F40 swap. Like it's really not.
Add some cables and a shifter, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to
it's
take
not
the
that
mounts
much
off
different.
anyway. So.
Yep.
But. Yeah, episode 69.
Yep.
next
Oh,
week.
I got work to
We
do.
are waiting for ideas. I have one, and I think it will be a bit frowned upon, so we're not going to do that.
But yeah, what do you guys want to hear next week? It's a big one. Let's make history.
All 50 viewers, let us know.
Anyways,
With
have a
that-
good weekend, you guys. And
What are you doing this weekend?
you want to do the what are we doing this
That's
weekend?
our typical spiel.
All right.
I actually don't know. I'm around this weekend, so.
Eric?
Oh, I got to do a transmission flush and an axle seal.
Mm.
Do have to do that.
What's that, like $6,000?
Probably.
Probably.
Already paid for it though. So.
Yeah.
Anything on the rally yard is $6,000.
I'm gonna be assembling my new R&D bench down here
Ooh.
and cleaning some stuff up, and then I think zoo opens this weekend, so we're gonna go to the zoo.
Oh, it's going to be cold.
Yeah,
It's a good
unfortunate.
weekend. It's nothing like a new bench.
Oh,
Mhm.
new bench, new toolbox.
I'm excited.
That's good. We are driving to Detroit tonight, and we're hanging out with Erica's family.
You gonna go see Waldo?
Waldo.
Adam. He
Oh,
reminds
yeah.
me of Waldo for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
He's like a blonde Waldo.
Yeah, I think I'm going shooting with Mike and Adam on Sunday.
Oh, well, take his mailbox.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I'm not doing anything that crazy. Hanging out with the wife, do some hot tubbing,
Yep.
drinking,
Some
call
hot pooling.
friends.
Hot
Yeah.
pooling.
Hot pooling.
Hot pool. It's gonna be a
pretty
cold
much my
weekend.
plan.
So
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. Happy birthday, Noah Hammock. 25.
Oh,
It only gets
look at
worse.
Oh,
insurance is going down.
This is the peak of your life.
Yep.
Don't
See you
forget that.
Yep.
See you later, guys.
Bye.